welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I am talking about your food, what you're eating. It's summertime, right? Everybody's trying to get that summer body. Everybody's trying to be snatched. And I get this question asked probably on a regular basis about why I went vegan, how to discipline yourself to eat better. So that's what I want to talk about with you guys today. I think it's important that you recognize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and that when you're stuffing your body with fried chicken, pork chops, and all these other unhealthy foods, it's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your production throughout the day, whether you're procrastinating or not. Your whole day is going to be determined by what food you're putting inside you to fuel you. Think about it. Food is supposed to fuel you, right? Now, Hebrews 12:11 says, "No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It is painful, but afterward there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way." I'm going to title this, "Put the Donut Down." I don't know if I'm going to use that or not, but put the donut down. No discipline is enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to eat healthy while it's happening. It's painful. And I'll be honest with you, when I first went plant-based, I did not completely enjoy the food because it wasn't flavorful. It just wasn't good to me. But after years of being intentional and years of putting effort in and years of learning how to cook, I want to kind of cram all of it into a 10-minute video. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. I went plant-based about 8 or 9 years ago. I did a raw food fast for 30 days. It was pretty much raw food. It was probably like 80% raw food. And I made everything from scratch for the entire month. I got so toned so fast. It was amazing. And I lost some pounds. And so I was happy about that because I wanted to lose a few pounds. You know that happy weight that you get that first year of marriage? Yeah. Well, so I decided to just do something different. And I started getting books, and I would sit and I would read books about your health and your body and what food's doing to your body and miscombining foods and what that looks like and what it means. And miscombining foods is simply when you're combining a protein and a starch, and you combine those together, you get bloated or you feel heavy. It's because your body is working really, really hard to digest those things. So, I remember just being really intentional about my food and just started making stuff from scratch. I started drinking green smoothies every single morning, and I started doing a lot of this right after I had my miscarriage. To be honest, I felt like my body just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't healthy enough. Not like it wasn't healthy enough to host a child, because people are unhealthy and they still get pregnant. But for me, I wanted to house my child in a healthy environment, right? And at the time, I was kind of eating lots of red meat and really unhealthy. I felt sluggish. I felt tired. And so I decided to eliminate all those things. Then after 30 days, I felt like, okay, there's no way I can commit to this. I've been at home cooking all this food. How can I commit to this lifestyle? And I tried to eat a piece of salmon. It was like a salmon Caesar salad on my way to Bible study. I fell asleep in the car. My husband was driving. It was a 15-minute drive, you guys. And I was like, I felt the food digesting my body. I wanted to throw it up and be done with meat forever. I was just waiting for it to like finish digesting. I'm like, let me know when you're done, because this is disgusting. Like, it felt, my whole system just got heavy, and I felt heavy, and I'm like, I don't like the way I feel. I'm not going back. But right before that, I felt like God was taking my desire away for like chicken. Like, the texture of it was just kind of disgusting to me. But again, I was having a hard time committing to it, right? I was having a hard time disciplining myself because I felt like it was more personal, right? And so then, you know, I just decided to commit. I'm like, you know what? I travel a lot. I'll figure it out. And this was back then when they didn't have as many vegan options. Now, I mean, you are seeing so many vegan healthy options, so many oat milks, cashew milks, almond milks. I was making all that stuff back in the day when nobody else was. And people were thinking that I was a crazy person. Like, milk does not come from almonds, girl. But I had made a decision in my own heart that I was going to live differently. And not only that, I wanted my children to eat healthy. I wanted my husband and my family to eat healthy. I wanted to be able to present other options to my home. If you're Titus 2 woman, right? You're a keeper of the home. You're responsible for the food that comes into your house. You're a keeper of the home and everything that comes in it. I wanted to be healthy. It was important to me. It was important to me that my kids would excel well in school because they ate healthy. I didn't want them to eat a bunch of processed, unhealthy food. Now you might say, Heather, I just don't have time. The thing is this. you make time for what's important to you. And for me, I stop working at about 4 o'clock to get ready for, my day. I stop working at about 4 and I get ready to, cook the dinner. And I'll cook a couple different dinners. Like yesterday, I was out and about. My husband asked me to pick up some food at the restaurant that I was at. So I picked up some food and that was his dinner, or part of his dinner. And then what I did is I made like a jasmine rice, and I put salsa in it because the kids love salsa. And I made some plantains, just cut up the plantains, and cooked them. Didn't season them or anything. I just cooked them in some sesame oil. And then I made some green beans, some garlic green beans. And my husband was able to eat the sides to add with his salmon because he's a pescatarian, I would say now. But my whole family ate that. So that's pretty much just like a meal and a half. But typically I make 2 meals. You might say, Heather, I don't have time. I get you. I don't have time either. But I think it comes down to meal prep. And for me, even making the rice, I just threw the rice in the rice cooker, cut up the plantains, and threw the green beans on. I mean, it didn't take that long. And we have to ask ourselves, like, is it worth it? Because you're going to pay for eating healthy with time and maybe a little more money, or you're going to pay down the line with cancer and diseases and all that other stuff. I'm not saying that healthy people can't get cancer, but what I'm saying is, what are you feeding your body? What are you putting on the inside of you? That matters. The food you're eating really matters. We've got to start disciplining ourselves, ladies, to be healthier. Are you being intentional in your own life? I've learned that I can't even buy certain snacks because if I buy the vegan, even if it's vegan cookie packed with sugar from Whole Foods, I'm going to eat it. So I just don't even buy it. I've learned not to buy certain things that I know are going to test me. Now, don't get me wrong. I have my cheat days every now and then. But if you're trying to be snatched, you want to be healthy, then we have to start disciplining ourselves to eat better. It's not enough to look at everybody else and wish that we had their body or wish that we could have their discipline. You can be disciplined too. You have to make a decision in your own heart that, you know what, I'm not going to eat the Milky Way from my snack. I'm going to pick up some apples and granola. One of my favorite snacks is apples. I call it apple donuts. And if you watch my Insta stories, you know why. But I cut up an apple, I put almond butter on there, and then I sprinkle granola and I eat it. And it's so good and it's so delicious and it's super easy. So going vegan is just making a decision in your head that I'm going to do this first. And then I'm going to learn how to make foods that taste good. I have an app called Heather and Cornelius Lindsey. You can just search it. I have about 80 or 90 vegan, for the most part, vegan recipes on there. You can go on there and just try them out. Just try it out. Just make a decision. Let me learn to do something different. I also like minimalistbaker.com. And I like ohsheglows.com too for recipe ideas. But just making a decision, I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a meal list for next week. Maybe it's just say, all right, I'm going to get my jasmine rice. I like gluten-free options. And the thing is, a lot of people go vegan and be like, I gain weight. You can't smash bread and pasta all day. Like, you need some plants in there. You got any plants in there? You know what I mean? So get your jasmine rice, get your quinoa. These are my go-tos. Jasmine rice, quinoa, shiitake mushrooms, onions, green pepper, red peppers, artichokes, Fiji apples, bananas. I like to get just a few certain things that I know I can mix and match. Artichokes. If I take artichoke, I think of artichokes, I think of crab cakes. I can make crab cakes with that. So I take the artichokes and I take some onions and I chop it up and take some celery, chop up the celery, mix it all together, throw it in the food processor, add a little Old Bay or a little kelp seasoning on that, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of pepper, and I make my little patties. And I cook it on the stove with vegan butter or maybe some, sesame oil or avocado oil. But just getting creative. You take that crab cake, you dip it in some Xanaran's flour, both sides, and cook it. That thing is everything. It's so good. But again, really simple, easy way. How do you learn how to cook these different meals? You got to practice. Practice makes perfect. You realize how easy it is to eat vegan or plant-based once you start practicing it. So I challenge you this week to come up with 3 or 4 vegan meals. Just practice in the kitchen. Meal prep ahead. Plan ahead. Be intentional. Yeah, your family might not be on board, but are you on board for your own health? They'll get on board eventually. Like now my daughter's always been vegan, but my son eats really healthy, and now my husband does too, because we don't keep certain foods, and Mama Bear's in charge of grocery shopping. So I just make sure we have healthier options. I don't get the Doritos. I get the healthier option to the Doritos, or I get some tortilla flour. I cook it on the stove with some lemon garlic like marinade, a little bit of seasoning on it, and I flip it a couple times until it's crispy, and then I cut it and make it look like chips. Give it to the kids with salsa. Bam, you got chips and dip. You see what I'm saying? It's super easy. So I challenge you, just get started. Be intentional, start eating healthy, working out. Try to work out 2 to 3 times a week. YouTube is your friend if you can't get to the gym, but just putting effort towards your health is important. I talk about a lot of things on this channel, and it's so important that you recognize that your physical health is important in order for you to do what God has called you to do. Will you be here for it? We want you to be here, right? Amen? All right, well, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to get started with this vegan life. It's so good. I feel so light when I eat. My food actually fuels me, and that's what I enjoy so much about it. And also, you want to make sure you're taking your vitamins, and I'll list the vitamins I take down below. But take your vitamins, eat healthy, work out. All of these factors matter so you can be healthy and happy to do what God has called you to do. Now, other real quick sidebar is, if you've not registered for my conference, go to pinkypromiseconference.com. It's going to be lit. It's going to be amazing, and I want to see you there. All right, I love you. Group hug. Can we group hug? Let's group hug. My nail's not done, so we can't group hug too much. Don't you hate that? It's like, I don't have time to get my nails done, but I'm going to make time. Love you guys. See you later.